Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be, is she fading away? Got an email here from a viewer. He says, "Hey Corey, I've recently been dating a woman the past 2 months, and the time with her has been great. However, we started dating immediately following her breakup with another guy who was a narcissist and treated her badly." Well, the one thing you got to consider is, like, when you date women that are right out of a relationship, especially one that's like that, their emotions are going to be really raw, and there's a good chance that that ex-boyfriend, because, I mean, let's face it, she's still going to be feeling feelings of loss and remorse, and since we tend to look through rose-colored glasses through the past, what happens is time goes by, she starts thinking about him more and more, and he starts thinking about her more and more. Gee, did I make a mistake? Especially like when he's going out and he's not getting laid again. Then he's going to start, usually, or she will start trying to rekindle things. And the best way to counteract that is obviously to do more things right than wrong. So as you're going forward and this other guy's trying to maybe come back into the picture, every time she goes out with you, you're mysterious. Every time she goes out with you, you have a great time. You hook up. It's totally drama-free. She has total fun with you, and she can never figure you out. She doesn't know when you're going to call or when you're going to call her back or when the next time is that she's going to see you. And over time, if you take the measure steps that I talk about in my book, you'll be able to cause her to fall more and more for you and think less and less of the ex. But the more things you screw up with when you're dating her, the more you communicate and you show weakness, the more you're going to actually drive her into the arms of the ex-boyfriend. He says, "I'm the complete opposite and understand it's a two-way road in a good relationship. I treat her like gold." Well, hopefully you're not treating her like her butler or her male girlfriend and letting her walk all over you. Because if you do that, then yeah, she'll definitely ditch you and go back to the ex because you're not acting like a man. Feminine women want a masculine man who acts like a man. Feminine women don't want a feminized guy who's unsure of himself and who acts like a pleaser and is always asking her for permission or what it is that she wants or what she likes in order to please her or prove himself to her, which always leads to rejection anyways. He says, "Following an entire week with her and her family for the holidays, she has been very distant, and now I have not heard from her in 4 days, and almost 2 weeks since seeing her. She's told me before that she isolates herself when she needs to focus on herself and stress, but it seems she's not even trying to see me or keep me in the loop, and I fear she's drifting away." Dude, relax, chill out, be patient. These are the kind of thoughts that cause you to pursue and to chase, because what's really going on here is internally you're going, I don't think I got what it takes to cause her to fall in love with me. And I think it's just simply a matter of time before she finds out what I'm really like and she blows me off just like all the other women I've dated. And so when you think like that, you come from a place of fear. And what you fear, you attract. And since you're fearful, usually what happens is it causes you to start chasing and acting needy and acting insecure. And the exact opposite happens of what you want to happen, which is her going back to the other guy or dumping you for another dude. Your fear is that you're going to lose her to somebody else because you don't think you're good enough deep down inside. And when you are acting and thinking in a belief system like that, you're going to actually take actions and do things and say things that's going to actually cause her to back up and move away further from you. And I'd say that's obviously part of what's going on here. The other thing you got to consider is, you said you read my book one time. That's why I say to read my book 10 to 15 times. Because that one time that you read it, you only gained about 10% of what was in there. And so you miss things like there's a chapter I wrote, like women are like cats, and sometimes they get cold. Sometimes they're unsure of where they stand with you, and they need to wonder. And they need to, especially when he wants to come back and things are evolving with you, and maybe you've obviously acted weak, and now she's sitting there wondering, should she go back to the old guy or should she continue to see you? And she's going to choose whoever acts the strongest. If you act weak, you'll drive her into his arms. If you act confident and strong and let him do the chasing and pursuing of her, he'll actually drive her back into your arms. So you just got to be patient and chill out and wait. And if you're following what I teach in my book, then you should be calling her once a week to take her out on a date. That's all you need to do. Stick to that script, because if she starts to go cold, and the only reason it's going to happen is either A, you're doing something wrong, or she's still head over heels in love with the ex-boyfriend. That's going to happen sometimes because she had more time in with that guy. Therefore, she had a longer period of time to develop an emotional bond with him. And since you just met her, you don't have that emotional bond yet. He says, understanding that she was coming out of a long-term relationship, we've taken things very slow. I'm very patient. I've been there for her almost too much, I know. So, okay, well, you know you've been fucking up. You need to read my book again because there's obviously, like I said, you're only gonna, each time you read it, you're going to gain about 10% of the knowledge. You're going to really remember it. But the other 90% of it you're going to be missing, and that's why little things, that's why you're still making mistakes that are turning this girl off, and that's what's really going on here is you don't know my information well enough. You don't know what I teach well enough. He says, right now I'm just playing it cool, but it seems something's off considering our last conversation. She mentioned she wanted to visit my family and how her family loves me. Am I freaking out for no reason, or is she fading away? I'd say you're freaking out for no reason, but your actions and your words and your body language and your physiology is actually driving her away. So what I would do if I were you, read my book again, obviously, and the other thing I would do is just take her out once a week. Call her, if you haven't heard from her, call her once a week, invite her out for a date, and stick to that script. But the reason you got to get your nose back in my book is you got to figure out what it is that you're doing and you're saying when you're going out with this girl that's turning her off and causing her to back away. Because if you've been doing more things right than wrong, she'd actually be pursuing you more because you just spent all this time with her family. So there's obviously, you're still making unnecessary mistakes and you're still ruining a attraction by making unnecessary mistakes. You just simply don't know the information in my book well enough. So if you have a question you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, is a box that has a link that will take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page for my book. Once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device, just download one of their free e-reader apps for whatever electronic device you want to read my book on. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these video newsletters, the articles on my website, and my ebook, you can show your appreciation right now by going to my website, and on the Wikipedia toolbar at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.